Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. So as you can see, in our video today we're going to do an interesting comparison that has been asked for, and some people are waiting for it since a long time, since Wacaco has announced the launch of the Pixapresso last year. So let's see what each of these machines can do. The Pico Presso, the predecessor, the one that has proven its success over the last 3 years, versus the Pixapresso that was launched in the end of November last year, and we just received it a couple of weeks ago. So let's see what each of them features, what is the overall impression and the quality of cup of coffee that you can get when you use any of them. We'll start with the weight of each of them, and as you can see, definitely the size of both is completely different. The Pico Presso looks very compact in your hand. You can just carry it in one hand like that. It doesn't take a big space if you travel or if you go anywhere. On the other hand, the Pixapresso comes in just a pouch like that, not a carry bag like the Pico Presso. And as you can see, it looks bigger. Definitely, it's bigger and it's heavier because of the other components it has, and plus the size that is big, plus the battery as well. So let's see what is the weight of each of them. First of all, it weighs less than 600 grams, I believe. Yeah, it's a 570 grams. 570 grams only. That's the Pico Presso's weight versus the Pixapresso that weighs 860 grams, 861 grams. So we're talking about 300, mostly 290 or 300 grams difference between both of them. So it's not that heavy or that big difference between both of them in terms of the weight. Still, 800 grams is the size of a grinder that you can carry when you go. So it's not a big deal. So still, we're talking about a compact in terms of the weight. How about each of them? So I'll start with the Pixapresso because this is the newest one. Most people have dealt with or seen the Pico Presso over the last 3 years. So Pixapresso comes with its own Lego parts, as you can see. There's different parts that come with the machine. Starting from the machine itself, there's some parts inside the machine as well. So as Wacaco usually do, they always give us a lot of things, and we keep playing with them according to what we need to do. So that's everything you can get with the Pixapresso. Looks pretty complicated when it comes to how many tools you have to fit in one bag or inside the machine itself. Don't worry, because there's also some similar tools, not that much, but some similar tools that also fit together inside the Pico Presso. But the good thing here is that with Pico Presso, you don't feel any of that because they're all hiding inside a small package, okay? So what do we have with this machine? You have a big cup, a small cup, and then some adapters. This is a portafilter holder that will deal with all the adapters you will fit in it. So if you're somebody who drinks capsules, you need to fit the capsule adapter, which is this one, and that's the cover of the capsule adapter. So you put the capsule here and then you cover it like that, and then you put all that together in the portafilter. If you're somebody who drinks powder coffee, so you need to fit this one, because this is the filter that will produce your coffee, and this is a pressurized filter. Okay, so this machine doesn't have an unpressurized filter like the other one, which is the Pico Presso. Okay, so you have two different dose sizes, whether you go for a small dose size. So first you need to do this one. You put this one first. This is the spout, and when you put it inside, it will lower the dose that you have. So this one will go a little bit to the top like that. This will allow you to have only up to 8 grams dose. So you can do a ristretto or a single espresso. If you're somebody who drinks double espresso or even a bigger shot like a longo, then you need to do an espresso or a double espresso or a longo. You need to do this one directly like that. So you put it inside this way, and then you will have a bigger space to fit up to 16 grams of coffee. So that's how you deal with it. Then the other accessory parts are just the shower screen, the dosing ring, and the brush. So I know they're not that complicated, but still there are too many if you count them, okay? So that's about the Pixapresso. So what other features that the Pixapresso have is that it has heating function. So heating function with this machine will turn it into a real portable machine that you can depend on it if you go anywhere, because you don't need to carry hot water with you. Just any normal water can fit and can do the job for you, and you can heat the water. And it has some sort of a software. So if you click this button like that, it will show you what is the remaining battery you have. So right now I have 4 out of 5 bars, which is 80% battery remaining in my machine. So the machine has intuitive software that when you long click this button, it will turn on like that. It will smile first, and then you have this interactive screen. When you click on it, it will give you different options, as you can see. And based on each of them, you can check my previous video on the full review that I did for it and all its features. You can check all these details. But when you click on any of these options, you can definitely control it by like a 0 or a 1, like a no or a yes, using the power button. So for example, if I want to do a beep or not beep, I will click here, I'll close the beep, or I will click one more time to turn on the beep, and so on for any of the other options. For the temperature, it features up to 3 different temperatures that you can select from: 88 or 92 or 96. So depending on the coffee that you are roasted, the coffee that you roasted, or the coffee that you're using, whether it's a light roast or a medium roast or a dark roast, you can go for different types of different temperatures. Okay, so you can choose between Celsius and Fahrenheit. You can choose the cup size so that you tell the machine which size of water are you aiming to heat, whether starting from a ristretto or an espresso or a double espresso or even a longo. So when you choose any of them, the machine will check whether the current battery that it has will be enough to heat the water or no. So it will tell you that you can heat or no, you can only extract. Okay, which is a smart feature in the Pixar Presso. So for the people who are drinking capsules or even not caring about achieving very, very, very professional espresso like the one that you can do with the Pico Presso, this machine is gonna be a lifesaver for them. Okay, and it's worthy to say that the machine really makes good coffee, even though it's a pressurized basket. And I've tried to check the quality of the coffee that it makes against other machines. It doesn't feel like a real pressurized basket that we get when we use a DeLonghi machine or any of these home machines. Okay, so moving to the other machine and putting all this Lego aside. So we're playing Lego today. So on the other side, we have the Pico Presso. And the Pico Presso comes in this bag, as you can see. It has a zip to close it, so it looks definitely neater in terms of how it looks. It looks nice, looks okay, it's sturdy, it's protecting the machine very well. And we anyway have, both machines are made of plastic, but still you need to protect your machine so it can live with you. I have been using this machine for 3 years, and as you can see, it's still living over the 3 years. So I've put this metal part on the top so that I can fit like any water level meter, so that I can make sure that my hand is steady, because I didn't have the Pico Presso's holder all the time with me. So the machine comes with 2 different parts as well. On the top part, when you open the lid, you can take out some accessories out of it. As you can see now, there is a tamper, and there is a dosing ring, and there is a needle and a brush. A similar brush to what you get with the Pixapresso, just the same one. Okay? And I just forgot to tell you that with Pixapresso, you get also this spoon that can act as a spoon. If you take out the hand like that, you can use it to scoop your coffee, or you can close the hand and turn this into a tamper, a plastic tamper, to just like level the surface of the coffee before you brew your coffee. So here, when we turn to the Pico Presso, you get the cover, the lid, and then So on the lower part of the Pixapresso, you get to see the shower screen and also a plastic spoon to scoop your coffee. And you get a 52 millimeters non-pressurized basket that makes you real espresso. And you get the portafilter itself, and on the bottom of the portafilter you get this rubber mat that can work as a drip tray after you finish your extraction. and you get this like matte spout that you can use or not to do a naked portafilter extraction or a spouted portafilter extraction if you don't want to make a mess around you, like that. So it has a hole in the middle that will allow the coffee to fall in the cup, or put it aside so you can see the bottomless extraction. So as you can see, still we have some pretty nice Lego for both machines. So what I have observed over the last 3 years with Pico Presso, that when I use it, because it has that plastic body and you have to use it, you have to preheat both machines, by the way, in order to get a good tasting cup of coffee. But with the Pico Presso, because you have to do everything manually by turning on this piston like that, and then you have to press the piston this way. So when you put hot water here, it's just directly in touch with your hand. So this will, like, you know, retain the heat, and then the heat will kind of like go in like outside, so you can feel the heat on your hand. So that's why I always carry this piece of foam with me, so I can hold it like that with the piece of foam, so I can just help myself not to feel the heat on my hand. Okay, so that's about the Pico Presso. So let's see, when we do a cup of coffee with each of them, what is the process and what is the final taste of the cup. What I did for now, I'm putting everything to be exact same, the same dose size, 16 grams in each machine. The Pixapresso takes up to 16 grams by max, but with Pico Presso you can go up to 18 grams. But I just didn't want to give a lot of coffee for one of them so that I don't give it an edge over the other. So I'm just unifying the elements completely. And I just didn't tell you that with Pico Presso, you can always upgrade the basket. You can go for an IMS basket like this, that will be made with precision for better, definitely better cup of coffee. But for now, I'm gonna use the same stock tools that come with each of them. I heated the water and put the water in the same cup, and I'm putting hot water in each of the machines so that I can give it a preheat cycle and do the espresso. So I'll start with the Pixapresso. Or let's do the Pico Presso first. Okay, so let's put the Pixapresso here, and let's do the Pico Presso's pack prep. So I feel the heat here now because the machine has hot water in it. So what you do is, I will turn on the piston like that, and I will heat the basket before putting the coffee. So it goes this way. Okay, so this is now done. You can use a tissue or a towel if you have, and then you can put your coffee. So in other days, I would put or soak the basket itself in a cup that has hot water. It will give it better heat, because right now it's just warm, not hot enough as I want. So I think I will do that just for the sake of giving it a very fair chance, because in the end I don't want people to think that I'm failing one of them over the other one. So I'm not doing that. I just want to make sure that I give each of them a very fair opportunity to produce the best cup of coffee. I'll use a medium roast coffee from Honduras. Yeah, right now it's definitely hotter. Some people also in the rituals, they will do like 2 heating cycles, not just one, to, you know, to give the machine better heat or better heating cycle before, or better preheating before they do the extraction. So you put the dosing ring, then you put your coffee. So one of the good things about the Pico Presso is that you have a proper basket, so you can pour the coffee like that. Not much coffee will fall outside. Depending on how you do it, not much coffee will be falling outside. But with Pixapresso, unfortunately, the basket is very small. It's only 49 48 to 49 millimeters. And this is really a small diameter in a plastic basket, so you end up suffering to put or transferring your coffee into the basket. Just transferring is a pain. Okay, so I use the tamper like that, and then I will give it another polish on the top, so the basket looks like that. So that's a dose made of 16 grams of coffee. If I jump to 18 grams, the coffee will be overfilling the basket. As you can see now, that's 16 grams of coffee. So in the 16 grams, I'm not gonna use even the puck screen because there is no space. There's no space to be there. When I put the shower screen right now, it will touch the coffee already. That's why they sometimes advertise that the machine can take up to 16 grams or 18 grams, but the reality is depending on the roast level, maybe you will need to lower your dose. So the darker the coffee is, the higher the volume will be in the basket, and you will need definitely to have a lower dose. Okay, so let's pour the water into the machine and do the extraction and see how it looks like. The Pico Presso takes up to 70 ml or 80 ml of water, while the Pixapresso takes up to 120 ml of water. So that's a plus for the Pixapresso. You can do long goes with Pixapresso, but you can't do that with Pico Presso. So let's do the extraction and see how it looks like together. I'll use a scale to give you an indication on how long it takes and how much is in the cup. Okay, so let's start that together. So I'm feeling the heat on my hand, but I will just I'll keep it as is. I want you to check also with me. So you give like 8 seconds or 10 seconds of pre-infusion and 8 pumps, and then you wait for a little bit of time, maybe like a few seconds. Then you will see the drops coming. I'll turn on the timer now. I will start extracting. Very creamy extraction. Very nice single very nice single stream. Yeah. So that's a Pico Presso extraction. That's a Pico Presso standard extraction. You'll do it like that, and you'll get a very nice cup of coffee in the end. Okay. Let's move to the other side. This coffee is roasted around 2 weeks ago. 25th of, actually more than 2 weeks, like 3 weeks. But because it's a medium roast, as you can see, there is a nice thick crema. It's there on the top. See how the cup looks like? The crema is nice. Very nice taste, as usual from the Pico Presso. So let's move to the other one, the Pixar Presso. We'll do just the same. So the preheating cycle is there. I put the hot water. I will, first of all, turn on the machine like that. And then I will long click on the extraction button so that the water will fall from the machine and heat the basket, and then I will be doing the extraction. So the machine will stop automatically once the extraction is done, which is a good thing. See, it will make a beep now and it will stop the pump. Once the water finishes in the chamber on the top, the beep will happen and then the pump will stop. So let's do the puck prep together and see how it looks like for the Pixapresso. You just need to give a quick clean for the basket to remove the water, and you can do proper puck prep after that. Okay, so this is the basket, very small basket comparing to the other one. Looking at the two sizes, very big difference. As you can see, very big difference between both of them. Okay, so because it's plastic, it's hotter than the Picopresso's basket. I'll use the dosing funnel, and when I try to transfer the coffee, as you will see now, it will be a little bit painful, so I'm gonna use a spoon. Better than using the Pixapresso's spoon, because it's big, and the basket here is very small. So when you pour the coffee like that, it will be a little bit painful to pour. It's very wide from the top because it works as a tamper as well. So by the time you pour the coffee like that, it will always fall from the sides, which is a little bit inconvenient, to be honest. So I'll transfer the coffee like that with another spoon. And even some coffee fell down, but because I just want to be fast. Okay, as you can see, the 16 grams are filling the basket completely up to the top. And that's another challenge with Pixapresso, that the coffee will be touching the shower screen all the time. So give it a little bit of taps to saturate the coffee. No need to do WDT here, and there is no needle that comes with the machine. Okay, so when you take out the dosing funnel, there will be a little bit of coffee also falling. And as you can see, without tamping, the coffee is mostly filling the basket completely. So you will use the tamper now. So with pressurized basket, you should not be pressing hard. You should just level the surface. That's what all the advices are about when it comes to pressurized baskets. So I tried to give it a little bit of compression also, to be honest. And that's how the puck looks like. So the coffee is mostly on the surface of the basket. So when you put the basket in the machine, it will definitely touch the shower screen. So when you put the basket here, it will touch here, like that. So maybe you can use 15 grams, not 16, but I'm just going as standard as possible with the Pixapresso to give you the best result I can get with it. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so let's pour hot water in the machine and let's do the extraction. So I'll be using water up to 80. Or a little bit less, so that I can get a similar 1:2 ratio like we did in the Pico Presso. And I'm using the water of the same temperature. I'm putting boiling water in both machines. I'm not aiming for 93 or 90, because there will be a lot of loss for heat anyway when you do extractions with these machines. So turn on the machine like that, long click. Then I'll go for direct extraction. And you can choose whether you want a pre-infusion or direct brewing. We did the pre-infusion with Pico Presso, so I'm gonna use the pre-infusion also here. Long click, I'll turn on the timer. So it takes 8 seconds of pre-infusion. and we can say 10 seconds less in extraction, and the machine will stop automatically. And then you put the machine back on the cup. So this is an extraction done with Pixapresso. As you can see, it looks more creamy because it's a pressurized basket, but the crema surface looks very soft. Doesn't look like a bubbly crema. And with a couple of stirs like that, the crema will saturate to the top like the other cup. Let's give it a taste and let's see what we get. So we got 38 grams in the cup, which is similar to what we got with Pico Presso. Let's see the taste. So the taste is also good. Very similar taste. So let's do our testing. We start with the Pico Presso. Temperature should be under 40 in order to measure it properly. .30, which is 18.68 extraction percentage, which is not bad. It's still falling within the normal range of an ideal cup of coffee. As you can see, it's 18.68. If I grind a little bit finer, I will achieve a stronger cup of coffee, and this will increase the TDS for sure. But as you can see, without any dialing in with Pico Presso, you can achieve a good cup of coffee, as you can see. Let's do the other one. And see. But as you can see, the result is kind of identical between both of them. Maybe a little bit higher here with Pixapresso. But what matters to me is the taste. The taste of both of them is very similar. Very similar on my mouth. TDS wise, refraction results are mostly the same. If you use the same quantity of coffee, the same water temperature, and the same extraction percentage, you will aim for kind of a similar result between both of them. But what we have here with Pixapresso is an automated process. So Pixapresso will give you automated process. Even though it's a pressurized basket, it gives you a good cup of coffee in the end. Unlike the other machines that work with pressurized baskets, they might not give you a good result. But we're talking about a very serious thing here with this machine. So how will it perform against the other machines like Super 58 or Sierra Plus? Maybe these comparisons will come in the next videos. You tell me in the comments what you think about this, and tell me if you have any questions in mind about both machines. I'll be very happy to assist you with that. For now, if you ask me whether I should upgrade or no, so if you're somebody who uses the Pico Presso heavily and it's really a lifesaver for you, I believe that Pixapresso will ease your life a little bit because it will just work with the press of a button without the need to do any work or any hard work from your end. In addition to having the heating functions as well as using capsules, if you're somebody who drinks capsules, I think it really ticks some good boxes when it comes to comparisons against a predecessor machine like the Pico Presso. I'm not saying that the Pico Presso is bad, but you know, when it came to the world, there was nothing else but Pico Presso and only Nano Presso before that. So having a non-pressurized basket after all these years with Picopresso and then followed by a pressurized basket with Pixapresso might be disappointing for some people, but Nanopresso used to give good coffee also, I have to say that. So we can agree that a Pixapresso is an automated Nanopresso that gives you a good cup of coffee with minimal effort from your end. So that's my final verdict about it. So you tell me in the comments what you think, and thank you so much for watching.